Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife. My name is Adam, and in today's video, I'm going to be answering a question that you guys absolutely bombarded us with after last Friday's video. If you remember, we announced that we are going to Fiji because we found an unbelievable airline sale that we could not pass up. And right after that video went live, we started to get comments and messages and emails from you guys saying, Adam, would you mind sharing the websites, the apps, the accounts that you follow to find these amazing airfare deals? So we said, you know what? Let's make that video and talk about that. So in today's video, that's what we are doing. We're going to share all of our travel deal secrets with you. Now, obviously in today's video, it's just me. Sherri's not with me because as we were talking about this video, it was actually really funny. Sherri was like, you know, I have no idea what you do to find these deals, and I have nothing to add to the conversation, so why don't you just go ahead and do this video yourself? So that's why I'm here, and there's no Sherri. And just, you know, there are a ton of websites out there. You guys, I'm just gonna cover a few of them that I know and I love. But honestly, if you go to Google, you will find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of websites. If you look on Twitter, there are tons of accounts, Facebook the same. So there is so much information out there on how to find good travel deals. What I'm gonna share with you today is just some of the things that have worked for us. And I feel like I need to say this from the beginning, so I just wanna let you know, I'm gonna link all of the accounts and websites down below, but just so you know, none of those are like affiliate partnerships. We don't get any kind of kickback for any of that stuff. I'm saying this stuff, I'm recommending these sites because we use them, not because we get paid to promote them. So all of this today has nothing to do with like affiliate or commission or kickbacks to us. These are just sites and accounts we use and we love. And the first one, honestly, may be my very, very favorite. If you're not familiar with a website called Kayak, Kayak is basically a generator that scans all other travel websites, or at least a lot of other travel websites, for some of the best deals. Now you can book airfare, you can book hotels, car rental, lots of things on Kayak, but there's a feature on Kayak that I love called Kayak Explore. And this is you guys, it's just my favorite because you can go to Kayak Explore and enter your departure city. So earlier today I went there and I entered Anchorage because that's where we fly out of. And what it does is it gives you a world map with the lowest fares to dozens and dozens of cities around the world. Now you can select certain departure dates or departure months, or you can just leave it open and say, you know what, I just want to see what the best deals are any dates. And some of the deals are crazy. Even earlier today when I searched this, you can fly Anchorage to Shanghai in February for $454 round trip. That is a crazy, crazy price. There were prices that were like $600 and some from Anchorage to Europe. If you have not used Kayak Explore, go check it out. Enter your departure city and then just go around the world and look and see what kind of deals exist. Now, the second account I want to tell you about is probably the one that applies to the least amount of you that are watching. However, it is the one that has saved us the most money and allowed us to travel the most. Both our Paris trip and our Fiji trip happened because of this site, and it is called Alaska Travelgram. Now, it's run by a guy named Scott McMurran, and Scott has the most unbelievable deals that he puts out via Twitter, via his website, via his email list. Obviously, the deals are Alaska focused, but I would say if you live in Alaska and you want to travel, there is, like, Alaska Travelgram to me, far and away, the #1 site you need to pay attention to. In fact, I would absolutely love to know how he finds those kind of deals, because some of the deals that he has are just like, well, kind of like the Fiji deal. When I saw that deal post up, how good of a deal it was, I just knew, I was like, this is the kind of thing we can't pass up. And those are the things that he highlights. Now, the next one is pretty popular and applies to a lot of people. It's called Airfare Watchdog. I think their website is airfarewatchdog.com. On Twitter, I'm pretty sure they're Airfare Watchdog. But they're another one of these travel sites that has a ton of deals. You can go on there, you can enter your departure city, see what kind of different deals exist. It's not Alaska specific, so pretty much wherever you live, you can find deals from your city. And it's definitely one of the ones that I always go through and check. Now, the next one I think is pretty US specific. It's called The Flight Deal. And it seems to be focused on a lot of the major US cities. Now, even though I don't live in one of the major US cities, I still check out this site because the reality is if I saw an amazing deal from Seattle, I know that I could get to Seattle either using like Alaska Airlines miles or finding like a cheap flight. So for me, the deals I look for don't always have to be from my departure city, but I do like them to be from a city that I could get to easily. So I'd say if you live in one of America's major cities where you have like a major airport near you, or if you're willing to get to one of those airports to take advantage of these deals, definitely go check them out. When I was looking on their site earlier today, one of the deals that I saw that absolutely jumps out at me was Boston to Sweden for like $398, which seems just like the craziest deal. But obviously Sherri and I don't live anywhere near Boston, but the reality is that we could use Alaska Airline miles to get to Boston and then take advantage of that flight to Sweden. So for some miles and $398 round trip to Sweden, that sounds like an unbelievable deal. That's the kind of stuff they have on their site. And next is a site that I've actually just started using recently. It's called Secret Flying. I'm pretty sure on Twitter it's at Secret Flying, and they actually search cities around the world. So you don't have to live in Alaska, you don't have to live in the US, kind of wherever you live, Secret Flying finds deals from your city. And one of my favorite sections on their entire website are these error sales. Now, if you've ever heard of error sales, it's these random things when an airline or a hotel accidentally publishes a rate that is wrong, and people find that rate, jump on it, and take advantage. In fact, some of the ones that I saw listed on their website were like $5 hotel rooms, $12 hotel rooms, lots of crazy things like that. And so I really love going and looking at the error sales on their website. Now, obviously with error sales, as well as with all of these, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, these are a lot of times open for minutes, because as soon as obviously the hotel or the airline finds out about it, they shut it down. So you have to be quick. But I do love that they publish those. So those are 5 resources that we use, we know, and we love. Now there, as I mentioned earlier, are so many more out there. And then I do want to draw your attention to a couple other sites that we've actually never used, but that we've heard really good things about. And just want you to know, these actually are the kind of sites that you pay money to be a member of. Now the benefit to being a part of something like that, where you pay money to be part of a list that gets these really special air deals, is that basically you're part of a smaller pool, right? If a website puts a fair deal out on their website, anybody can find that and book that. But if you're paying to be part of a more exclusive group that's getting these deals, obviously less people will know about that, and maybe you'll have a better shot to be a part of it. And the two that I want to talk about, obviously there are a lot of these as well, are Scott's Cheap Flights and Fairdrop. Now Scott's Cheap Flights has a huge following. I know a lot of people that use them that really love them. I'm pretty sure they might have a free and a paid subscription, so maybe go check them out. And then for me, Fairdrop, I think is kind of cool because it was started by a couple of YouTubers, and in fact a couple of YouTubers that a lot of you guys watch, Kara and Nate. This is kind of a travel site that they have started. Obviously they travel all the time. They're kind of travel pros. And so this is them sharing their tips with the world. And for me, I actually would have no problem paying to be a part of these for one reason. I think that the cost is like around $50 a year. And honestly, $50 when we're talking about travel is nothing. If you got one travel deal by being a part of that, you would more than make up that $50 just off of like what you'd save on one trip. So again, I'm gonna link all of those down below, but I do want to end this video actually not necessarily talking about the sites we use, but about some other travel tips that I think will help you take advantage of these kind of things, and some things I think you need to be aware of. And one of the first things I would say to be aware of is remember that travel changes quickly. Because I cannot even tell you the number of times that I've been like, oh my gosh, I found an amazing fare. Like I take out my phone, like I'm texting Sherri, I'm like, we've got to take advantage of this. And then I go back and look and that fare is gone. So you kind of just have to know that this is a game that moves fast. You know, I was in the hotel industry for a long time. A lot of you guys know that. And I was in the hotel industry when things were kind of changing. So a lot of you will remember that it used to be like, this hotel is $169 a night, right? Like that was just their rate. But what hotels realized is that by having just a set rate that you just went with, you were actually leaving a lot of money on the table. Because what it does is that doesn't take into account kind of high demand seasons when you could earn more money. It doesn't take into account like lower demand seasons when a room might sit empty, so maybe you should lower the price so you can fill it. And so what we saw is we saw this new dynamic rate structure happen where hotels were changing rates literally kind of on demand, constantly watching the ebb and flow of demand and of bookings and changing rates in response to that. And so what that meant is the person who went to the website expecting still to get that $169 rate, that rate might now be gone, and it's $229 because of some changes. So travel moves quick, and you have to be able to respond quickly to take advantage of the best deals. And that's one more tip I'd give you. Know the times of the year that you potentially could go. So for Sherri and I, we know that there are certain seasons that it's easier for us to be gone. And so those are seasons that I will be looking specifically for really good travel deals. Like for the Fiji thing, I knew that there was a time in May that we couldn't be gone. But then I also knew there was a time in May that we could be gone. And so as I'm looking at these dates, trying to find out if we could take advantage of this, I saw that window and I knew this is actually going to work right here. And being able to respond quickly, again, allowed us to take advantage of that. Because if I would have had to sit down with Sherri and be like, well, it might be 2 or 3 days until we know if we can go, or I've got to check this, or I've got to check that, sometimes that deal might be gone. And that is one of the things that makes travel like this so difficult, is a lot of people are kind of set to school schedules, or they're set to like work schedules. And taking advantage of these things just honestly may not be possible during this season of life. So don't get attached to rates. They change super, super quickly. Because they change quickly, be ready to pounce if possible, and have a really good idea of the seasons that are open that you would be able to travel to take advantage of this. And honestly, the biggest thing I do is I just keep my eyes open for these deals. Whenever I get an Alaska Travelgram email, whenever I see Alaska Travelgram come across my Twitter feed or my Facebook feed, I always read their posts, because they're always filled with good information. So find those accounts that work for you. Maybe you live somewhere where there's something like Alaska Travelgram for your city or for your state. Sign up for that. And then pay attention to all of their posts, because you don't want to be scrolling by and miss an unbelievable deal that could have given you the trip of a lifetime for a really small amount of money. You guys, I wish that it was more difficult than that. I wish that I had discovered some super secret way to book travel that nobody else knew about. All I do is pay attention to the work that other people do, right? All of these websites have people that are out there combing the internet, combing the airline websites, combing hotel websites, looking for these amazing deals. I just pay attention to the work that they're doing. And fortunately, there have been 3 times with Paris, with Ireland, and with Fiji that we have been able to pounce and take advantage of those and have trips that we will talk about for the rest of our lives because we were able to take advantage of these deals. But as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I know that there are hundreds and hundreds of other resources out there that a lot of you guys may be using as well. So let me know down below, what are some of the things that you are using? And then I want to end this video talking about another aspect of our travel that we get asked about a lot. It's like, how in the world do you guys afford to travel so much? How in the world do you guys travel so much? And we actually made a video all about this. Because for us, travel is not necessarily about income. Travel is about priority. And we have a video where we talk all about that. We're very, very open and honest in that video. So I'm going to link that video down below. If you want to know more about us, more about how in the world we travel, more about why we travel, those are the questions that we answer in that video. And I think you guys will like that. So friends, that is it. I shared some of our favorite travel websites, some of our favorite travel accounts. I'm going to link everything down below. I want you guys to go check them out. As always, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all of your amazing comments on our Fiji announcement video last Friday. Still feels like an absolute dream, but I'm so glad that I pay attention to deals on sites like these so that that dream can become a reality. We love you guys. As always, thanks so much for watching LeggLife. Thanks for being a part of our community, and we'll see you on our next video.